Most property upgrades will never make you any money. Having bought and refurbed hundreds of properties for our investors, I've seen there are 5 upgrades that cause the biggest regret because they end up losing you thousands. So in this video, I'm going to show you what those 5 upgrades are, why they'll lose you money, and what to do instead so your property keeps making you money. Let's start with the first upgrade, where a small change could have lost one of our clients £20,000. So we worked with a couple in 2023 and helped them buy this property near Durham City Centre completely hands-free. It was for £200,000, good rental area, classic family home, and they were buzzing. They'd been watching renovation videos, getting ideas, and said to us that they wanted to knock the small bedroom into the second one to create a big luxury room. And look, I get it. When you're new, you think bigger is better. But here's where things get risky, and the couple didn't realize it at the time. Changing that layout would have completely changed how the market sees the property, who would rent it, how fast it rents, and ultimately what the house is worth. They were one decision away from turning a solid 3-bed family home into a 2-bed luxury experiment that hardly anyone in that area actually wants. So we stepped in, we ran the comparables, explained how the valuation works, and told them to leave the layout as it is, and they kept the 3rd bedroom. Because of that, the surveyor compared it to other 3-bed houses on the street, not the lower 2-bedroom ceiling, which saved them £20,000 in value. Now here's how you make sure you never lose value the way they almost did. Check your area's 3-bed versus 2-bedroom sold prices on Rightmove. You'll be surprised to see that a 3-bed in most parts of the UK sells for at least 20 to 30k more than a 2-bedroom, even if the 2-bed is nicer. Now the next one's interesting because it's a mistake I nearly made on one of my own refurbs, and if I had, it would have cost me a lot more money. So I bought this property in a decent area and I wanted to level up the refurb. I wanted to push the finish a bit, make it look better than your average rental properties, and hopefully justify a higher rent and value. I thought if I spend more, I'll make more. My original plan was to knock down the walls, open up the kitchen diner, and add an island kitchen. But when the work started and we measured it properly, the space wasn't big enough. The kitchen felt tight, and this is a mistake I've seen so many beginners make, forcing an island kitchen that simply doesn't have the space or the need. And here's the most important part: in most investment properties, an island kitchen will cost you more money than it makes you. If it's your own home, fair enough, do what you want. If you're flipping, maybe it makes sense, but if it's a standard rental property like a buy-to-let, 9 times out of 10 it's money wasted. So I scrapped the island kitchen and went for this instead, and it looked nice. I still rented it for £50 above the market rate and within 5 days of listing. So before you start designing your kitchen, here's a quick check that will save you a lot of money. First thing, as obvious as it might sound, measure the space. You need at least 1 meter of clear walk-in room around an island kitchen. If you don't have that, don't cramp it in. Then check comparables. If other houses on the street don't have island kitchens, yours probably won't get extra value for having one. And just remember, your property is an investment. Premium features only pay you back in premium homes. In standard investment properties, practicality always wins. Now, avoiding the next upgrade is important because it stops you from wasting money on something that looks good but hurts your investment. A while back, we were working on this huge countryside farmhouse, 10 bedrooms, loads of space, premium property. The goal was to modernize the property that felt high-end but without spending over the top. With a house this size, the finish really matters. Buyers expect quality, and if you get it wrong, the valuation can drop fast. So one of the rooms we focused on was the upstairs bathroom. When we finished it, we posted the final photos online and people really liked it. Messages started to come in: I want that in my next refurb, the bathroom looks great, I want the same. And this is where most beginners get trapped, because they saw the finished photos and thought, I want that in my property. The centerpiece of that bathroom was a freestanding bath. Now the bath, it looked nice because it was a 10-bedroom farmhouse with plenty of space and buyers who expect that kind of luxury. But in 99% of standard UK properties, your 150k terraces and 200k semis, a standing bath doesn't add value, increase the rent, and most of the time it actually works against you. It costs more, takes a lot of space, and eats into your budget with zero return. So if you're tempted to install a standing bath, here's a better option 99% of the time. I usually go for a modern shower over bath setup like this one. It looks good, it's practical and in line with what the market expects. Now the next one is tricky because it feels like a nice upgrade until you realize it creates more work than what it's worth. Now imagine you're out shopping for a fresh pair of white trainers. They look great on the shelf, they're bright, clean, and you buy them, you're buzzing. But the first time you wear them outside, the reality hits. You're watching every single mark on your trainers, you're stepping around mud, dodging puddles, and suddenly those trainers become a bit of a hassle. That's exactly what happens with high maintenance gardens. They look great on Instagram, they look great on the viewing, but the problem is once someone actually has to live with it, cutting grass, trimming hedges, it turns into work. And tenants, they don't want work, they want something easy and low maintenance, otherwise it just ends up neglected and overgrown. So here's what to do instead. You don't need to avoid gardens completely, they actually help you rent a property faster. You just need to keep them low maintenance, make it simple and easy to look after. This is a garden in one of my properties. It still looks good and gives the tenant outdoor space without creating extra work for them or you. Now the next refurb upgrade is sneaky because it's one simple choice that can cut your tenant demand without you even realizing. So let me show you something. I'm going to put a few different pictures on the screen. Take a look at each one and just ask yourself, do I like this? Would I put this in my property? Would this put me off? Now if I asked you, you'd probably say something like, the orange is a bit much, I like the green wallpaper but I wouldn't have it in my house. Or maybe you're thinking that the pink looks terrible. And that's the whole point. It's personal. Everyone has different tastes. And when something is personal, it instantly becomes risky because if you don't like a color or pattern, it puts you off straight away. And that's exactly what happens when you fill a property with feature walls and bold interiors. Now here's the funny part. All of the rooms I just showed you, those are jobs we've done for our clients. Some clients love colors, some want patterns. It's their preference and that's what they ask for. But as we tell everyone, in our experience across hundreds of properties, bold interiors lead to fewer inquiries, slower lets, and most importantly, it doesn't increase the value of your property. So how do you make your property stand out without being so bold that it turns tenants away? You can still use feature walls, just keep them neutral. Here's an example. This is one of my own properties that I refurbed earlier this year. It's simple, still has feature walls, and it appeals to pretty much everyone. But if you think that feels a bit too plain, you can go slightly bolder, like this one I'm refurbing right now. There's still color in it, but it's a softer tone. Just keep it neutral enough that it doesn't put people off, because when you keep things simple, you keep more tenants interested and your property rents faster with fewer issues. So now you know which refurb upgrades to avoid. But if you want to make more money in property, you also need to understand how much a refurb costs so you don't go over budget. And that's what I'll show you in this video. So I'll see you over there.